to another episode of YMS versus the Internet. On today's episode, we're going to talk about vision and the different things that Google has them pitted against. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First off, we have vision versus mission. That's more of a kind of a vision, mission, like moral thing. So let's go into vision versus Superman. Let's see what vision versus Superman has to offer for us on the Internet. Alright, vision versus Superman. Oh, very well. Alright, so we see here first off that there's a really nice picture of vision. Let's see what arguments people have to make about this particular subject. This person just says Superman. Superman should roll on John Deere over vision. If vision has the chance to phase, he could take it. Alright, that's interesting to know, but I would also like to know why he thinks that way, because phasing just doesn't instantly give the game to him. Let's keep scrolling through here. I think this would go to Superman. It would be very similar to Superman versus Martian Manhunter. The disruption thing could make it an interesting fight, however. I agree with that. Phasing through objects does make it difficult for someone to fight you, but like he's pointed out, as the Superman versus Martian Manhunter thing, it still would probably go to Superman. However, it would make it very difficult for Superman. Continuing on. How is Superman going to get the vision if he can phase? That's interesting. Well, the thing about that is vision can't get to Superman either if he's phased. So really what it comes down to is if Superman's going to be able to hit vision at key points when he's phasing. Because both of them can't get at each other. The next one, that's the thing, this person writes. Phasing versus speed. Excellent, I just said that too. The vision is an advanced machine. It would stand to reason that the thought processes are faster than that of humans. So he might be able to phase in time. His phasing seems to disrupt more than any other phasing type I've seen. He beat Hyperion down extremely well in super dense form and in intangible form. I say he can do it. And this person's absolutely right that that has occurred. Hyperion versus Vision. He went super dense and throttled Hyperion. But moving on, that's not what we're talking about. Superman thinks, reacts, and moves at speeds that Vision cannot hang with at all. Superman destroys Vision before he can even think of phasing. And this is, well, that's not entirely true, but Superman has been clocked in at some pretty incredible speeds. There are times in which he flies speed light, faster than speed light, and whatnot. But I don't know if in an actual fight, Superman's going to be able to do any action that will outspeed Vision's abilities to just turn ethereal. With that being said, the fight doesn't come down to who strikes first. It's going to come down to who has the opportunity to hit at the key moment during Vision's phasing. Alright, let's see. Superman can hit Vision if he phases. He has to focus his laser vision on a smaller level, however. When Vision phases, he isn't as fast as MM. He is pretty damn slow, he says. If Vision manages to put his hand through Superman, he would win. But chances are this is an actual battle where he won't be able to do that. I don't know if that's necessarily true. If Vision were to just go intangible and stick his hand in Superman and then do some phase shifting inside there, that wouldn't necessarily disrupt the Man of Steel. Even though it's not just his skin that's indestructible, it's him as a person. So physically that might end up actually hurting Vision as a machine before it'll hurt Superman, regardless if it's inside his body. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give my standard on this. In the battle between Superman versus Vision, I'm going to have to give this battle to Superman. Because like it's already been stated before, this is the same battle as like with Martian Manhunter versus Superman. And albeit Vision doesn't have the mental powers that Martian Manhunter is, so he's kind of like a discount version of him, if you say. I'm not saying he's horrible. I do like Vision, but he's kind of a discount Martian Manhunter. What this is it's going to come down to whether or not Vision can outplay Superman at his points of phasing in and out. And I don't believe Vision is actually faster than Superman, so Superman could probably hit him at those key moments and bring his weakness to him. So in this battle, I'm going to give the win to Superman. So let's go ahead and move on to see what Google has next for Vision. Okay, we got Vision versus Thor. Alright. Alright. versus Thor. This first gentleman says, try to think of how Vision could win before y'all just write. Thor! The person definitely has an opinion. If Vision could phase out and just grab Thor's heart like he does, or at least should do, to most everyone he comes up against, he wins. If not, he gets torn in half or bolted by some lightning or teleported into some dimension to never return. This is true. Vision's got to deal with... Asgardians in general, though, are typically a lot more dense. At least, if I'm going to put a number to it, I believe it's 3 times more dense than a human being. So I know that Vision can become intangible, and he can go through anything regardless of how dense it is. But like the same case with Superman, it might not be as easy to disrupt their internal organs or whatnot, given how dense they are. So an attack like that might not do so much damage. Also, again, the speed thing is going to be difficult because even though Thor is not an extremely fast or a speedster type character, he can track objects moving at the speed of light. So his kinetic vision will be able to catch any of those types of moves that Vision pulls on him. Moving on, that person says Thor all the way, and then the one below that, Thor easily. Thor was always the heavy hitter on the team, not Vision, and Thor's powers with Mjolnir trump anything Vision can do. I agree with that to an extent because Thor is putting out a lot more damage than Vision really ever will do. There are times in which Vision can get the drop on people and really, like with what he did with Hyperion, he can do a lot of damage with his density shifting. However, in this one, it's just Vision's not going to be able to outpower Thor. And beyond that, Vision, his only chance for this really would come to the fact that he could outsmart Thor, because he's not going to be able to grapple him, he's not going to be able to strike him. And even if he uses his laser beams, they're not going to be able to be strong enough to defeat Thor. And if it comes down to it, probably one swing from Mjolnir would shatter Vision completely. So this would have to be a defensive fight on Vision's part until he can somehow find a way to outsmart Thor, maybe somehow trap him, and then that's how you defeat him. But in the grand scheme of things, I'd have to give this fight to Thor. Alright, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next Google verses. Alright, we have Vision versus Thanos, but that one's probably all going to be about the movies and whatnot, and it's not going to have any interesting comments on it, so we're going to skip that. Vision versus Iron Man. Interesting. That's kind of been done so-and-so with movies, though. Let's try and be a little bit more genuine, original. So I'm just going to, and also because I happen to just really like the Hulk, so we're going to go down to Vision versus Hulk. Alright, Vision seems somewhat, what we're talking about, let's see the MCU versions this person talks about. So we're going to be debating over the MCU versions, at least for this discussion. This person says, Vision seems somewhat weak physically in the movies. Ultron laid him out for a great deal of time. Hulk, on the other hand, repeatedly mangled Ultron. So I imagine Hulk would win. And that's true. Obviously, I have to give the physical advantage to Hulk, as he always will get. This person's argument being that the common denominator between the two is Ultron, and physically Vision lost, and physically Hulk won. So yes, in that aspect, I would have to also give the victory to Hulk. Let's see. Firstly, this person says Vision can face, meaning Hulk. If Hulk were to get up close, he'd go right through him, and this is absolutely true. Apart from that, Vision can fly. Yes, Hulk can leap, but Vision would be able to see him coming and easily move out of the way. After many hours, Hulk would get tired. Not true. Actually, that second sentence right there I have a lot of problems with. Mainly two. First is, the Hulk is not something you can just see coming very easily, because he has been clocked at very fast speeds. Even in a simple leap, he can be moving very fast. And unless the Vision has like several football fields between him and the Hulk, he's not going to see that leap coming like instinctually. He's not going to be like, oh, that Hulk's coming, I better like have a tea break and then think about what I'm going to do for the next 5 hours. And then, oh, there's the Hulk, I'm just going to sidestep him. No, the Hulk's going to be on him, and it's going to be aggressive, and he's going to be fast about it. Also, the Hulk doesn't tire out very easily, especially within a fight. That's not much of an argument. This person also writes, plus Vision has the Infinity Gem on his, I forgot we were talking about the MCU versions. He has the Infinity Gem on his head. Not sure exactly, but it could have enough power to push back the Hulk if he comes charging at him. In the MCU setting, I don't believe that the Infinity Gem alone, that one, would have enough power to push back the Hulk if he was charging at him, especially if he was Savage Hulk, let's say. However, the Vision could continue to attack him from a distance, this is true, and we haven't really discussed actually what the type of mind attacks the Vision can do, at least for the MCU ones, since he has the Mind Stone. If he were to invade the mind of Hulk, it might necessarily not go in Vision's favor at all. There have been people like, there was a powerful telepath called the Vegetable that fought against Bruce Banner, and he was able to invade his mind and kind of torture him and beat him up a bit, and Bruce Banner was terrified, and the Vegetable's like, yeah, you're just like everyone else. Everyone's terrified of me. And Bruce Banner's like, no, I'm not afraid of you, I'm afraid of being here. And he's like, what are you talking about? My mind, I'm in my own mind. It's the most terrifying place I can imagine. And the Vegetable's like, what? And at that moment, like, an arm from every different Hulk that's ever been created comes out of this void and grabs the Vegetable and pulls it in. And it's like, what? So if you were to invade the Hulk's mind, you might be surprised at what you find. That I wouldn't say that would go in Vision's favor. Alright, moving on, we'd have to say Vision phases through the Hulk's skull and rips his brain out. That's like an 8-second solution that will just piss him off even more. Skull can be phased through but not ripped. All Hulk cells are invincible, including brain cells. I like this person's response. Moving on from that, I'd rather see a staring contest between, this person is just no fun. Hulk couldn't hurt Vision if Vision uses his phasing powers, but I don't know if Vision is actually strong enough to hurt. That's another thing that I've actually been thinking about. There's no real way for Vision to actually hurt the Hulk. What this is another game, like in the previous battles, it's really just Vision playing defensive and evading until he finds a way to either isolate a weak point or outsmart the opponent. In this case, there's really no way. Of course, you might say that he has the intelligence factor going for him in this one, but it doesn't really matter when the opponent can stop anything that you throw at him, really, regardless of whatever it is. So, in the battle, in my opinion, in the battle of Hulk versus Vision, I'm going to have to give this one to the Hulk. But, you know, guys, this is all my opinion, so I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Just to recap on today's episode, we had Vision versus Superman, Vision versus Thor, Vision versus the Hulk. Now, guys, I want to hear what you have to say in the comments below, whether or not you agree with me or you think that my opinions are absolute garbage. I want to hear them all, man. And as always, YourMove, Internet.